You went away for 4 days. Your cat had food, water, a clean litter box, and someone checking in. They barely ate. Not because something was wrong with the food, because something was wrong with the house. Most people hear that and think, anxiety, quirky cat behavior, it'll pass. But what's actually happening is something researchers spent decades dismissing and only recently started taking seriously. Your cat wasn't being difficult. They were responding to a specific absence. Yours. Here's what that means. Cats aren't the emotionally detached creatures we've been told they are. That story has a source, and it's wrong. We'll get into exactly how wrong in a moment, including one study that reframes everything you think you know about how your cat sees you. But first, something worth knowing. The distress starts faster than you'd expect, and there's a biological reason your scent matters more than any pet sitter ever could. That connects to something in point 6 that most owners never get to witness. What your cat does the day you leave will change how you think about every goodbye. 1. The myth that stuck cats are independent. They don't need you the way dogs do. You've probably heard that your whole life. Maybe a vet said it, maybe a friend did. Either way, you believed it because it seemed to fit. It doesn't fit. Around 10,000 years ago, cats didn't get domesticated the way other animals did. We didn't train them. They chose us. They moved closer to human settlements because the food supply was reliable, and somewhere in that proximity, something shifted. They started reading us, our moods, our routines, our presence. That's not the behavior of an animal that doesn't care. A woman named Claire had 2 cats for 6 years. Every time she traveled for work, her vet reassured her, "They'll be fine. Cats are self-sufficient." She came home once to find both cats had eaten almost nothing for 3 days. The vet called it stress, then shrugged. It wasn't a mystery. It was attachment. The idea that cats are emotionally detached isn't biology. It's a story we told ourselves because it was convenient. They didn't stay near us for 10,000 years because they had to. 2. The first 24 hours. Your cat starts showing distress within hours of you leaving, not days. Hours. A 2019 observational study tracking indoor cats during owner absence found that over 60% showed measurable changes in feeding behavior within the first 24 hours, not gradual, not after a few days of adjustment, almost immediately. They check your chair, they check your bed, they check the bathroom, not once, repeatedly, like they're running a search pattern they can't stop. A pet sitter named Marcus was hired to check in on a tabby named Rue while her owner traveled for work. He noticed something strange. Every visit, Rue was sitting in the same spot, just outside the bedroom doorway, not sleeping, not playing, just facing the door. She wasn't confused, she was waiting. And the food bowl? Barely touched. Fresh food, clean water, same brand as always. None of it mattered, because the problem wasn't the food. The best part is just getting started. Drop your city in the comments and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Here's the part that gets more specific. There's a biological reason why your absence registers so strongly, and it has everything to do with something you leave behind without knowing it. More on that next. 3. The scent anchor. Your scent is chemically regulating your cat's nervous system, right now, without you knowing it. Cats have scent receptors roughly 14 times more sensitive than yours. Your smell on your pillow, your hoodie, your side of the couch isn't just familiar. It's a biological signal. It tells your cat's brain, safe, calm, stay. When you leave, that signal doesn't vanish immediately, but it fades, and as it fades, cortisol levels rise. That's measurable. Researchers tracking stress hormones in cats during owner absence found the correlation consistent enough to replicate. Your scent is the closest thing they have to you still being there. And hey, if this is changing how you think about your cat right now, hit like and subscribe. That's how these videos reach more people who actually want to understand what's happening with their animals. Now, here's something actionable. Before any trip longer than 2 days, leave an unwashed t-shirt somewhere your cat sleeps. Not a clean one. Worn. The science says it matters more than you'd expect. Not a comfort object, a lifeline. The next point goes deeper into something that surprised even the researchers who found it. 4. The attachment map. Your cat didn't just get used to you. They built their sense of safety around you. In 2019, researchers at Oregon State University ran a study on cat attachment styles. They found that roughly 65% of cats display secure attachment to their owners, the same pattern seen in human infants bonding with caregivers. The same pattern, not similar, the same. This wasn't a fringe finding. It replicated attachment theory developed for humans and applied it directly to cats, and it held. Think about what that means for a second. Not habit, not routine, architecture. Your cat organized their emotional world around your presence the way a child organizes theirs around a parent. That's not sentiment, that's structure. And if this is the first time you're hearing about this study, you're not alone. Most people never do. Share this with someone who still thinks their cat is indifferent, because indifference doesn't show up in peer-reviewed attachment research. The next point is where it gets uncomfortable, because it means that the kindest, most attentive pet sitter in the world, someone who genuinely loves your cat, still can't give them what they actually need. Not even close. 5. The sitter paradox. A kind stranger providing identical care doesn't register as care to your cat. Behavioral research comparing cat responses to familiar versus unfamiliar humans found measurable differences in stress indicators, even when the unfamiliar person's behavior was identical. Same tone, same movements, same food, different result. Because your cat isn't responding to the function of care, they're responding to the source. A woman named Dana hired her closest friend to house sit. Her friend loved cats, knew cats, stayed overnight, played with them, kept everything exactly the same. Dana came home to find her cat had spent most of the time hiding under the bed. Food barely touched, water barely touched. Her friend had done everything right. It didn't matter. Your cat wasn't reading her friend's intentions. They were reading her scent, her movement patterns, the specific sound of her footsteps. None of it matched. None of it computed as safe. What your cat needs cannot be delegated. And no, this has nothing to do with your sitter doing something wrong. It has everything to do with what your cat is actually tracking, which leads directly to something most owners never get to witness. What happens before you even walk through the door? 6. The return signal. Your cat knows you're coming home before you arrive, before the door, before the sound of your car, before any cue you'd recognize. Researchers documenting cat behavior during owner absence recorded a consistent pattern. In the hours before the owner returned, cats shifted, increased alertness, repositioning near the entrance, and in many cases, resuming eating for the first time in days. No audible trigger, no visible signal. The pattern was consistent enough that researchers stopped dismissing it. We don't fully understand it yet, but it's there. Here's something worth trying. Ask whoever watches your cat to note the exact time your cat's behavior changes on the day you come home. Not when you arrive. When they start moving toward the door, the gap might surprise you. They were already orienting toward you before you turned onto your street, before you even thought about walking in. And when you do walk in, what happens next is quieter than you'd expect. No dramatic greeting, no running, just a slow approach, a pause, and then something that takes 4 days of absence